Hello. A lot of schools these days are using Python as a language to teach coding to students. What I'd like to do here is to assist teachers by just going through the basics on how to set up a Python environment on your computer. I'm going to be assuming that you've got a pretty good basic understanding of how to use a computer, so you can install software, you can manage files, those sorts of things, and just take you through the process of first installing Python and then testing and setting up your Python to use, and then perhaps how to use an integrated development environment for writing your code. So the first thing you need to do is to just check if you've got Python on your computer. Mac computers generally have Python installed by default, and most Linux installations will have Python as well, but you probably want to check. If you're running a PC, probably doesn't have Python, although maybe it does. The easiest way to check is to go to the command prompt and just type the command python -- version. If Python is installed on your system, then you'll get a response like the one shown here, which tells you the version of Python that's installed. If Python isn't installed, then you'll just get an error message telling you that the computer doesn't understand the instruction. If you need to install Python, then it's a very simple process. You just use your web browser and browse to python.org/downloads, as you can see on the screen here, and you'll see a page very similar to the one that I've shown here. Just click on the download Python button and Python will download and install for you. It's very simple, and you just need to take the default settings for Python as you go through the installation. Once you've installed Python, you'll just want to check and make sure the installation is working properly. The way to do this is to once again go to the command prompt and just type the command Python, as you can see here. If Python is correctly installed, your computer system should recognize that, tell you that Python is activated and the version, and then give you the Python prompt, which is those three arrows. At that prompt, you can type in Python commands and the computer system will respond to that command in Python. Here I've just put in a simple command 2 + 2, and you can see that the system has given me the answer 4. To exit from Python, you just type exit, open and close brackets as shown, and that will get you back to the normal command prompt for your computer. Now, to use Python, you really need to be able to write and store your code so that you can run it. Now, it's simple enough to do this just from a text editor, and I've shown you how to do that here. I'm actually using the text editor Notepad++, which is nice because it does allow you to set it to the language that you're writing your code in. But the normal Notepad text editor in your system will do the job just as well. To do that, you simply create a text file with your Python commands, and I've used a simple command here, print hello, which obviously just prints hello to the console window. And then you save that text file as a .py file for Python. And that will then can be saved on your system as a Python file. Once you've written your Python code and saved it, you can just run it from the command prompt as shown here. Here I'm running a piece of code called hello.py. To do that, I simply change directories to the directory where my Python code was saved, and then I just type the command Python and then the name of the Python file, in this case hello.py. The system then responds with the output from that code. Now, being able to write and run Python code from the command prompt is fine, but it's a little bit restrictive. And there'll come a time in your programming life where you will want to use what's called an integrated development environment. Now, an integrated development environment, or an IDE, is a software environment that allows you to develop, test, and run your Python code. And it provides a number of tools to assist you with developing your code. Now, there are a number of IDEs available which you can use for Python coding, and I've given you the links there to 4 of the common ones. The one I'm going to be using is Eclipse, and that's just because I'm familiar with Eclipse, and so I'll tend to use that one. But the others are all perfectly good, and it's really up to you which one you wish to use. Some are simpler than others, but they're all very effective. So you just make your choice and install your IDE. They all install pretty easily, and you can generally just use the default settings as you run through the installation. So if you've decided to use Eclipse as your integrated development environment like me, I'll just take you through how to set that up for Python code, because Eclipse by default is a Java IDE, and we need to install the Eclipse add-on to that to make it work for Eclipse. So once you've got Eclipse open, we need to open the Eclipse Marketplace. So click on Help and then Eclipse Marketplace. Now the Eclipse Marketplace is where all the add-ons and additions to Eclipse live, and we can download and install them from there. It just takes a few seconds to load that, and when we've got that loaded, we click on the search bar here, and we're going to use an add-on called PyDev, or Python development. So just type that in. There's various Python add-ons that you could use, but this is one I use. And you can see PyDev is there. Now just checking, there's about 1.36 million installs and 1,766 likes. So this actually looks like a pretty good one to use. Now that comes up there. I've already got it installed. So this little button says installed. You will get an install button there. And if you click on that button, it will just take you through the Python add-on installation. And then you can click finish. I'll click cancel because I don't need to bother. Okay, so once Python's installed, we then need to change Eclipse so that it's in its Python perspective. So at the moment you'll see it's there waiting for a Java package to be created, so we won't worry about that. So click on the window menu and you'll see there in that menu perspective. So we'll click on or select open perspective, and then under other we will select the PyDev perspective. Now that just means that Eclipse is now going to expect us to create a Python package. Okay, so there you can see we now have, it's expecting a PyDev package explorer there instead of a Java package. Right, so let's get going. Let's run a bit of code just to make sure our Eclipse installation is working nicely. Now, code in Eclipse is divided into packages, projects, packages, and modules. Now there's reasons for that, but I won't go into details at the moment. As you become more advanced with your coding, you'll begin to understand why this is the case. So the first thing we need to do is to open up a new project. So click on the File menu and select New, and you'll see at the top of the list there a PyDev project. So click on that and it'll give us a window to create our new PyDev project. And we'll call our project Learning Exercises. And all of our learning code can just go into this one project at this stage. Click Finish. Most of the default settings there are fine, and you'll see that the Learning Exercises project is now appearing in our Package Explorer. Okay, so now we've got a project folder set up, we can go ahead and start putting in some code. So we'll click on the new icon on the left of the icon bar there, and here we will pick a PyDev module. So we're just going to type a little module or a little bit of programming, and in the package we will call it the package practice, and it will start that package for us. And then we put in the name for our module, which is going to be hello. So just put those in, and then we will click finish. and it creates you'll see there a practice module, and then the hello, a practice package, and then in there's the hello module there for us. Now it is asking us which template we would like to use. Now at this stage we'll just use the empty template. The other templates might be useful later on. So click OK, and you'll see there it's created a blank bit of coding window there for us to put our code into with an appropriate heading. You can delete the heading or leave it, it doesn't really matter, it just gives it to you as a starter. Now we're just going to put in a simple Python code instruction to test out our Eclipse. So we will type print, and you'll notice that as we type, Eclipse helps us out a little bit with some suggestions on what we might want to be putting in. Now we're going to just print the text hello world just to make sure things are working. So you need to put print bracket hello world in quotes and then close bracket, and that's our code. So how do we run that? Well, up on the icon bar here you'll see there's a green dot with a run, and it says run learning exercises hello.py. So yes, we'll run that. So click that, and you'll see it runs the module immediately, and there's the word hello world being displayed on our console window, which is what the print command tells us to do. So we've got Eclipse installed, we've got Python installed, and everything's working beautifully, and we're ready to start writing our Python code.